Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I made this beat with the samples from Daily Beat Sample Pack Volume 2. So we have a lot to unpack, so let's start and dive into the tutorial. In this case, I'm going to start with the drums. For the drums, I started with several samples from this sample pack, especially the kick. So we have the kick, which is a NYC kick, and sounds really dope. Then we have the hi-hat, which is from the same pack, NYC. And then we have the snare that comes from It's Time. And I wanted to have this 4 to the floor kick and then have the snare only on the 4th beat, because I think it sounds really dope and it gave a nice foundation to the track. It makes the track sound really epic. Next up, we have the nicest sound in this beat, which is the strings. For the strings, I used one of the samples called It's Time. So I used several elements from all the packs, and that's something that you can also do. You don't have to necessarily use only one sound or one pack or the sounds inside of that pack. The good thing about this type of packs or construction kits is that you can take whatever sound you like from whatever pack and make something new. Let's listen to the sample and see what I did. So this is the original sample. You can notice that there are several small imperfections in the sound. That's because I did this option of declick in all regions and declick out all regions. So that makes the markers a little bit better and without clicks. So that's why you hear these strange effects in between the sample. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see what I did. So one of the first things was I decreased the pitch 500 cents, and this is pretty much the pattern. So a little bit different. Listen to it again. And now let's listen to the melody that I created. I just took a little apart and loop it, and that gave me a nice foundation to the track. Let's listen this with the drums. So what I did was, for the 4th bar, I just removed a bit of the sample because I thought it was always the same thing and I wanted to add something new to the 4th bar to give it some variation and to resolve the track, because we have always the same loop and I wanted to break that at the end of each 4th bar. But as you can see, the drums and the sample sound really nice, and it gives this epic vibe, which I really enjoy. Before we go to the bass, let's go to the other sample that I added. So this was for the main chorus. So I cut the last 4th bar, or a majority of the loop in the last 4th bar. But for the verse, I wanted to because in the verse I don't have brasses or strings, as you will see, neither I have the organ. So I wanted something different for the verse. I thought, instead of having the same loop over and over again, because that would become boring really fast, I said, okay, let me go to the same pack that I use, which is the It's Time pack. And there was a string pattern there, or a string loop. Let me play the loop so that you can hear it. Very simple, and I just took this first marker and of course I pitch it down 500 cents also, and this is how it sounds. Very simple, but in the context of the track, let's listen to the drums with the second string sample. As you can hear, it gives the variation needed for the verse, because it's not always the same thing, and it gives some variation that made the track sound a little bit more interesting and not always the same loop over and over again. Now let's go back to the chorus part. For the bass, I added two different basses. One for the chorus with notes all playing throughout the bass, and one for the verse, which is more funky, more percussive. And I wanted to do different basses because I didn't want the same energy in the chorus and in the verse. And for the bass in the chorus, this is how it sounds. Basically, it's a sour preset and is the bottom feeder preset. So let's listen to the bass of the chorus. It's really nice, it's a solid bass, and let's listen to this part in the chorus with the bass, strings and drums. Sounds really nice, and again, as you can hear, it has a lot of energy throughout the chorus. And I wanted to break that up in the verse. So for that, I added a second more funky bass. And for that one, I used a live bass with structure. And let's listen to the bass. And these are the notes. And let's listen to the bass alone. Really nice, really funky. So let's listen to everything in context for the verse. And this basically is the verse. Now we have three more elements for the chorus. Let's go back to the beginning of the chorus. And the second element that I added for the chorus was strings. And these strings only play in the last, in the fourth bar when we resolve. So when I cut the sample, I wanted to add something, and this is what I added. So the strings are basically Sony Vox strings, and this is how they sound. They sound really dope, and it's just going from note to note to note, increasing the energy. So let's listen to this part in context. And I added strings because the main sample are strings or is strings. So I said, okay, let me try to, it will not sound the same, but let me try to match or get some strings that could match the same vibe of the sample. That's why I added the strings. Next up is the brass. The brass sounds really aggressive, but I really enjoy. So let's listen to the brass, and let's, by the way, see what it is. It's a Sony Vox brass. I really like this plugin, and this is how the brass sounds. It might not sound too crazy alone, but when we put it with a track, it really complements everything. And I think it sounds really nice. And again, as you see in the brass, it goes up also every note to create this movement, this upwards movement in the fourth bar. Let's go to the last element, which is the organ. The organ, I just wanted to add some flavor to the last bar. And for this, I added I don't know exactly what to call this movement, but basically I went from a lower note in the keyboard really fast to the main root note of the keyboard. And this is how it sounds. For the bass, for the organ, I just used dB33 from Air, and this is how it sounds alone. It's nothing special, but in the context of the track, it sounds really nice, and it gives a really nice movement to the fourth bar. So let's listen to everything in context and see how dope is this chorus. It sounds really, really nice. I really enjoy the vibe. It gives an epic, a very big sound, and it sounds really, really nice, and I like it. So that's it, guys. This is what you can get, or what you can do with this type of sample packs, these construction kits. I think it's an enormous value, and the sample pack is free, so you can download it, and you can start making music really, really fast and make your production sound really, really good. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you can see the power of having good samples in your library that can bring you variety and inspiration and can make you make really, really dope sounds, if that makes sense. If you are new here to this channel, subscribe and activate notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. Also consider supporting this channel by buying one of the products that we have at dailybeats.pt, or become a member and you will have access to every videos that I do here for the channel. You can see pretty much everything and be able to make beats like this with a really professional quality. And you'll also be able to download other sample packs that I have available only for members. And you will also have access to the Q&A sessions where I get all of your questions and answer with videos so that I can help you speed up your learning curve and become a better producer faster. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.